All right, man. So we got to do it. We got to react to Cheryl Reeve's post-game press conference here. We got to see it. Let's do it.
We'll begin with Kayla and Napheesa. We'll be joined later by Coach. First question will come from the right in the front row.
Fee, what made the defense so difficult over the last half of that game? Was it just what New York did, or
Collier is in disbelief. Look at the look on her face. She was like, if only more than just Kayla McBride came and helped me, I would be sitting here a champion. If only the referees called the foul at the end that happened to me, I would be the champion. Sick.
or what were you seeing there?
Here comes Cheryl. Do you want to ask her or me?
Abby, do you have box scores?
I mean, they turned up the pressure. It's the end of the game. Of course, we're both trying to win, so they turned up the pressure. We got a couple turnovers. We didn't execute our offensive plays at the end, so that's what their defense was doing.
Coach, maybe you could speak to that too, just about what you saw with the offense over the last half of that game as New York turned up the pressure.
I saw a very physical and aggressive New York team. We know this from being a part of the game for so long that sometimes you get away with stuff when you're physical and aggressive, and they certainly did. It's a shame that officiating had such a hand in a series like this.
Here it comes.
Obviously, there's always going to be a team that's going to be a little more disappointed than the other. I thought today was incredibly disappointing.
She sat down and got to work. She didn't warm it up. She didn't greet the room. None of that. It's time to aim at the refs.
The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have
She's asked for rule changes? Oh, my God.
a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge. If we sent...
So she's talking about the Breanna Stewart play where she barreled into Alana Smith. Coach Brundello previously had coached Sabrina to embellish the call, and then ESPN cut the mics because they knew that sounded crazy to air. I think that is kind of shambolic to tell your player to flop for the call, but I guess you do what you got to do to win the championship. It looks like if Cheryl Reeve, when she becomes privy to that video, she is going to call Sandy Brundello all types of names in the privacy of her own home or wherever she sees this video.
that clip in. Well, first of all, Napheesa Collier, the number of times that she's held, et cetera, and there's nothing down that end, right? Which it's kind of, for
Collier shot like no free throws this game, like maybe one. It's just crazy.
whatever reason in the series, that was kind of the way it was. But when at the other end, when we challenged it, if we would have turned that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So when you review, those should be the same parameters that you're reviewing with. But the three people that are on the game need a third party to let them know, because
She said we need referees for the referees. Wow.
decided the game. That decided the game.
Next question standing to your right.
Cheryl, forgive me for
Look at the look on Kayla McBride's face. She's heard Cheryl Reeve upset before, clearly.
changing the subject for a moment, but you did such a great job of preventing Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu from scoring for the most part tonight. What about Jonquel Jones made her so difficult to stop tonight?
When you watch the whole
That's a ridiculous question. Even before, let I know Cheryl's probably gonna like snap on the guy, but think about how that sounds. You stopped the first team All WNBA player Breanna Stewart and second team All League, person. You forced her to shoot like John Starks, Sabrina Ionescu. So why couldn't you stop this other person that was also like a former league MVP? Like that's insane to think about, like how stacked they are. But let's see what Cheryl says.
whole series, right?
Yeah.
So what makes her difficult is, you're spending a lot of time guarding Sabrina and Stewie and, in some of those schemes, it created mismatches, but we were going to live with some of that, right? We knew that JJ was going to score.
Can't
These
guard
guys
everybody.
Shot 30%. The difference was in the foul line. And obviously we needed to execute better on offense. I think one of these guys said that. We had opportunities not to fuel them, but we knew they were coming. We just needed, our lead guard spot was obviously, it was rough for us tonight there. We get a little bit decent play out of there. We win the game, But with all that happened, we still almost put ourselves in position to do this. And, I hurt for our players. Really, really hurt. Incredibly special group.
Next question, second row, center right.
Cheryl, Kayla Feed, congratulations on the season that you guys had. I'm just hoping you can take me through going into halftime, executing a lot of what you wanted to do, especially on the defensive end, and it's 34-27. Does that feel smaller than it needed to be? Are you feeling good about where you guys are at and what that conversation was like sort of for each of you in turn?
I think that was just kind of the end of quarter situation. I think we were up 12. It was 32-20, and then we allowed them to come back to get into within 7 or something like that going into the half. And that's where we have to, be better. And that's been throughout the series too, the end of quarters and things like that. And it's hard.
It's like those small things that the coaches drill and you're tired of hearing it, and then it happens in the game, and then it's just like, damn, we let it happen. And then you go in, instead of up 12, you going up 7, and then that's like a swing of the game right there because they ended up losing by 5. So
When you're playing a team at home, a team that knows each other well and things like that, but it's hard to just pick one thing, you know what I'm saying, when you still have a chance to win the game. So I think, we could have executed better, but there were so many things that went on throughout the game that I think we still gave ourselves a chance to win.
And just what was halftime like? What was that conversation like?
It's been the same. I mean, it's game 5. Everybody's making their adjustments mid-game, mid-possession. We're flying around. Everybody knows each other so well at this point. Everybody's trying to make a play and stop them from making a play. They made some plays in the second half.
We talked a lot about handling the pressure.
Yeah, handling their pressure, executing our offense. Not turning the ball over to let them get energy and transition and things like that. But
Kayla McBride was sensational in this game and this series. She was just someone you just count on to hit big shots, and I thought she was going to make that last one. I really did.
Next question, front row to your right.
Hi, Fee. I'm wondering, it seemed like the shots were falling a little bit easier in the first quarter and slowly got harder over the course of the game for you. I'm wondering, was that just because of New York tightening up? Did it feel like there were any particular reasons why? Maybe the players they were throwing at you, or just that's how it went?
Yeah.
So I think it's important to note that New York went to that supersized lineup where every single defender was about 3 inches taller than Collier. So that's tough to play against.
Probably because I was getting held a little bit. It was a little hard to make shots.
I love the sass. I was probably getting held a little bit. You can see it.
No, I think, of course, like they said, everyone's trying to make adjustments second half. I got a lot of shots up in the first. I was making a lot, so they tightened up their defense, brought people in rotation, were doubling, things like that. So I think they just upped the pressure, so it got harder. Yeah.
Next question, standing to the left.
Yep. Coach, your team showed the heart of a champion all season, no matter what the result was. So I want to ask you how you really enjoyed this team, really cherished this team. What was your message to them in this locker room throughout this defeat? And for you, Kayla, you playing with this team, with how they've loved your energy all season and enjoyed your leadership, your thoughts on playing with this team all season and how you feel that you showed the championship spirit regardless of the result?
I share with them exactly what you said. Incredibly proud that, since the day we got together in training camp all the way through to the end, we were the same team. We never got the disease of me. Not one single player on the team got the disease of me, not one. Those that were maybe in the rotation fell out of the rotation, some that never got to play. No one ever put themselves first, no one. That is incredibly difficult to find.
I gained a lot of respect for the Lynx, and even slightly a tiny bit for Cheryl Reeve throughout this series. I think so many of their players are so likable, and they are competitors. And it seemed like they were just trying to pull a miracle off against like, this stacked roster. And they've got one super duper star in Collier, and then they've got a really good player in Caleb McBride, and then they're just filling in around them essentially. And they overachieved, taking them to 5. That was, it's hard to ask for more
in this day and age. So I'm really, really proud. I'm incredibly proud of the number of people that were impacted by Lynx basketball and how excited they were to watch our team play. I told them it's who they are as people, how they did it. So those are things that we talked about, and I wouldn't trade them for anyone, any team. Do things the right way. Built a team within the rules. Those sort of things that maybe right now aren't happening in our league. And, did it the hard way. And you know what? We gave hope to those teams that aren't willing to circumvent the cap or...
Ooh, she's taking shots. She's taking shots at the Aces.
Fly illegally or all this
The Liberty.
stuff that's happened over the last 5 years, right? And so, do it the right way. It gives hope for those other teams that you can build a team just like ours. You don't have to have a super team, right? You don't have to have that. There's a different way
Look at Collier's face. Oh my
to
God.
do it. So I'm incredibly proud of them.
I can imagine the amount of trash that Cheryl Reeve is talking behind the scenes. My God, she said y'all circumventing the cap and y'all flying y'all players around on private planes illegally. Wow.
Our next 2 questions will come from the second row to your right.
K-Mac was going to answer his question. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really rare, and saying that this is my 11th season and I get to go out there and fight with women that I consider sisters. That's why it feels the way it does, because every single day we came to work and we enjoyed being with each other. We enjoyed competing with each other, fighting for each other, and that's why we're here. That's why we gave ourselves a chance to compete for a championship, because we showed up every day and did it the right way and did it for each other.
Look, don't cry, Kayla, because if you cry, then I'm going to have to pause this video. Don't do it.
And that's really rare in this league. The way that it's happening and all this other bullshit that people make seem like is important is not. What you have in your locker room and coming to work and showing up every single day and doing things the right way, that's the most important thing. And that's why it feels like this with each other, because we care so much about each other and we wanted it for each other. And that's the beauty of it, and that's also the heartbreak of it, because we deserve this shit.
Hey, man, can't cap with that. Like, you could just see that emotion that she's kind of being overcome with. You could see it in a different form as she was playing, throughout the series. It was so intense, so focused, so ready, so fearless, and definitely is one of my favorite players now, for sure.
Our next 2 questions will come from the second row to your right.
For Cheryl and or Kayla, I think Fee's going to end this postseason as the only player in league history to lead the league in points, rebounds, steals.
Free throw attempts? No.
Maybe.
Cheryl not playing with him. Yeah, how about y'all call some damn fouls?
Not that. Blocks, I think, was the other one. But what can you say about the statement she's made throughout this postseason and even in this last game?
Obviously, the exclamation point to the incredible season that she had. Fee showed up big time, for this team and put us in position to be within, seconds of a championship. Fee was phenomenal.
I'm always so in awe of Fee, because she carries it with such grace, and she carries it her own way. And as a superstar in this league, it can be something else. Then it can become about something else. But she always keeps it about the team and always keeps it about winning and just continue to get better and better, And I'm always in awe of her. Every time she steps on the court and just the way she carries herself, no matter what's going on, is that like she's just so consistent, and that comes from her. That's her internal, amazing. We just have so much confidence in who she is on and off the court, and I'm lucky to be alongside of her. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just in awe. And she's had an amazing season, and amazing postseason, obviously. So can't wait to see what she does in the future.
In the second row.
I was going to ask about Fee being phenomenal too. Cheryl, I wondered, so often when we talk about who's the best player in the world, it seems
Here it comes.
to be people are arguing Asia or Stewie, but after this, it seems like Fee is, she's definitely not the third best player in the world. I'm pretty convinced. How much do you think that like this type of postseason can help her? She's still very young. She can still get better, like catapult to an even another level next year.
Yeah, that's what's coming. I think greater recognition, that's what's coming. And Fee's earned every bit of it. And like you said, still, the season that she was having, it's not Fee that you're hearing about, right? It's other players. And so, but I think Fee's earned it, and we'll see going into next season if maybe, she'll be a little more a face of the league.
We have time for just a couple more. Next question, last row in the center.
Hi, Cheryl. You alluded a little bit to the way you've built this team, and I've definitely thought of your team as kind of a holistic organizational success story. The pro scouting with the players you were able to get in free agency, the player development side with a player like Bridget Carlton. As we see a lot of other teams around the league either build front offices from scratch or restructure theirs as the league gets more competitive and owners are investing more in their team, what do you think the front office of the future looks like, and what role does the head coach play in that?
Well, that's really loaded. It's a lot for me to think about right now. Forgive me. I really don't have an answer for that. It's just pretty deep for me. And plus, there's proprietary secrets.
Anyone else in the room? Second row.
Cheryl, Niara came in and was great for them
She was.
tonight. What did she do things differently, or was it just more
No,
that
she
got
was
the
tremendous in the
opportunity?
playoffs. Niara Sabali was tremendous in the playoffs. Really gave them a lift every single time she got minutes, and not surprised that, they went big. It's crazy how the series ended, right? For 4 games, it was about the three ball, certainly offensive rebounds throughout the whole thing. But then tonight came down to points in the paint. We don't even score in the paint. We had, 44 was it? Right? So it was really interesting how the series ended, with them playing bigger. They won the game with their defense, no doubt about it, with their defense. And but anyway, to your question, Sabali was her minutes were really good, really helped them. And I know all the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right? Bring it on, because this shit was stolen from us. Bring it on.
She said this shit was stolen from us. Oh, shit. Yo, this woman just sat there unprompted. They were done asking questions. She was like, oh, and by the way, we were robbed, stolen from. Oh my God. Let's see the rest of this.
Coach, when you make a comment like that, what do you say to your ladies on the team about how to
Hold
Foul.
on. Run this back.
Bring it on, right? Really gave them a lift every single time she got minutes, and not surprised that, they went big. It's crazy how the series ended, right? For 4 games, it was about the three ball, certainly.
So she's talking about the game right here, right? The size and then the rebound, and they asked about Sabali. And look how she goes into this.
Offensive rebounds throughout the whole thing. But then tonight came down to points in the paint. We don't even score in the paint. We had, 44 was it? Right? So it was really interesting how the series ended, with them playing bigger. They won the game with their defense, no doubt about it, with their defense. And but anyway, to your question, Sabali was her minutes were really good, really helped them. And I know all the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right? Bring it on, because this shit was stolen from us. Bring it on.
Coach, when you make a comment like that, what do you say to your ladies on the team about how to process this?
Well, we talked about it, we know we could have done some things, right? But you shouldn't have to overcome to that extent. This shit ain't that hard. Officiating it's not that hard. When someone is being held, be consistent. If you don't want to hold it one end, then don't call it the other.
Oh, she's getting fined tonight. If David Stern was alive, $100,000. She's getting an insane fine in comparison. You know, you got to scale it for the W and all that. But they're about to hit her for 25 grand. I guarantee it.
Be consistent. Every team asked for that, right? Sandy asked for that last game. So 3 of the games in the series, we're talking about the same damn thing, right? So I tell these guys, you know, for whatever reason it didn't work out, right? It just doesn't feel right that you lose a series with that level of discrepancy, you know? And we don't have a team that whines and complains and, you know, all that stuff. And, you know, sometimes it probably hurts us. Maybe being a little more, I don't know, something. But
She said, y'all out here crying for calls. Oh, my God.
I mean, I just think that, you know, you have a star player like Fee, you know, I don't get it. I don't get how she can be held and go to the basket and get hit. And then a marginal, at best, sends their best player to the free throw line. That's tough. It's tough to swallow. Just like our 2016 championship that was lost. Officiating, you know, missing a shot clock violation.
She said, I'm bringing back the old country championship from 8 years ago because they stole from us then. Oh, my God. She's getting a big fine. A large one.
This sucks. This is for a championship, right? For both teams. Let them decide it. What contact is legal should be the same for both teams. This isn't that hard. And so it's disappointing. You know, I mean, congratulations to the Liberty on their first championship. Been around, I don't know, how long has the league been around? 28 years? It took them 28 years. Congrats to them.
Taking shots. She's pissed. Oh, my God. This is crazy. This is all-timer right here. Run this back. Hold on.
Shot clock violation. This sucks. This is for a championship, right? For both teams. Let them decide it. What contact is legal should be the same for both teams. This isn't that hard. And so it's disappointing. You know, I mean, congratulations to the Liberty on their first championship. Been around, I don't know, how long has the league been around? 28 years? It took them 28 years. Congrats to them. You know, we were that close to our 5th.
Dripping in sarcasm.
Just didn't happen, right? It's disappointing. It's incredibly disappointing. You know, but these guys, I mean, they got to try to pick themselves up and go, we were that damn close, and, you know, it hurts. It hurts.
Oh, man. This is a heartbreaker,
Coach,
man.
Kayla and Napheesa, thank you.
Thanks.
Wow. Collier didn't really have too much to say. Understandable. But I think Cheryl Reeve said it all. Man. What do you guys think of this? I'm out of here. Holla.